across the country, I would think, in a national landscape, suppression and that militaristic style suppression still was the linchpin of how to keep crime in check. As we have seen critical incidents develop across the country, law enforcement related incidents, officer involved shootings, I think some of the consequences of a heavy suppression, arrest heavy strategy, I think, start to manifest when the community, people from the community that are being impacted by those strategies, reach a point where they're fed up with it. And then when an incident occurs, you see those frustrations manifest in civil unrest. And we've had a number of those across the country, and I won't, go into detail on each one, but we've had a number of those, but each one of them, and at least the ones that I've been personally involved in, I think that was part of the overarching perspective from the community is we're tired of the way we're being policed. In Los Angeles, we've evolved from that suppression-heavy model, and we went into a community policing model very, very heavily in the 90s. We formed community police advisory boards, which are still going on today. There was a effort to really be in touch with the community. But that even evolved to more of a collaborative model to where there were groups that traditionally have been adversarial in terms of police relationships with these groups, that we have realized that we have to work together to make this situation better. And I think that is where we are now. It's a very collaborative model. It's the relationship-based model where really the focus, at least the long-term focus, is on forging these relationships. And what is your role? What's my role? How can we make this situation better? And that's where we are now. And we've seen some significant success. And it's not nirvana. It's not a panacea, but we've seen some significant success. But we still are evolving, and we still are getting there. We formed partnerships, one in particular called the Community Safety Partnership, that is a prime example of that collaboration, that relationship-based policing. But before they went out on the streets, they were told this is going to be the model. This is about relationship building. This is about getting to know this community, understanding what they need, how they like to be policed, working with them to make sure that happens. It's not about suppression. When we've had officer-involved shootings, many of which I responded to in the housing developments in the past, it would almost always create a response that was confrontational. The last one that I went to in that housing development, it was non-confrontational. People still concerned of what happened. We want to hear the facts, but you didn't have us in riot gear. Crowd control measurements didn't have to be taken, those type of things. So to me, that signifies how far we've come in our relationships. I walked a footbeat with some of the officers there, and it's night and day from 25 years ago when I was a rookie cop in that same community and walked a footbeat. We still have to do suppression from time to time, but we have to be very, very strategic when those times are and be very surgical on who actually deserves that attention that we're going to give them and who actually make sure the community understands and accepts the way we do our job. So it's a very exciting time for us.